Hello.
You look lovely up this close, you know.
Oh, I don't think so.
So-
And you too,
Oh,
darling.
thank you very much. And welcome to Our Time.
You look good too.
You do, actually. You look great. They don't realise we can see them.
No, that's right.
Particularly you. We've got a fascinating program today because we're talking about the brain.
Dr. Rakas has been on the program before and it was fascinating, so we've got him back.
We certainly have, and we have some great new friends that Peter will be talking to from Hello World. Now,
Good evening.
thank you very much.
What an entrance.
Good afternoon and good morning, whatever time people are watching this program. That's really being taken over by the ghost of the Moors.
Certainly has.
This is Mr. Jace Wonders. Welcome to our program.
Pleasure to be here.
You have a fascinating story.
I do have quite a unique story, yes, that is correct.
So these days...
I'm still sorry, I'm still in shock.
Your ears aren't ringing too much, are they?
No, can I, what did you say?
Well, that's a very old instrument and it's unusual for a young man like you to be playing it. But
Yes.
your history involves bagpipes and
Yes.
it involves the more mystical things of life.
Yes, certainly. Well, my background is my Celtic ancestors way, way back in ancient times. Some of them were actually worshipped because they had this kind of ability, if you would. And that kind of ability throughout the years has gone by many different names, but most commonly nowadays it's probably known as magic to you guys, but I like to call it something a little bit different. I like to call it more of a gift because...
A gift, what, that you've inherited from your forebears?
Yes, definitely. So it's kind
Right.
of, it's followed the bloodline. Not everyone in my family has it. It seems to pick and choose and we don't know why. At the moment, there's only 2 people in our family that has it, me and my auntie, who still lives in the UK. But yeah, it's just kind of been passed down through the centuries and yeah, I've been lucky enough to inherit this.
I suppose that's like people that feel that their voice has been... Did you have a voice in the family?
Absolutely. Grandmother, my mother,
Everybody
my father,
sang?
my auntie, everybody sang. Music was in the
Wow.
family, so that's, yeah.
My family were market gardeners. I can grow any sort of vegetable.
Well, unfortunately, I can't sing. That's why I took up the bagpipes.
Well, you don't.
We're singing with all of that. But
Yes.
you're a very accomplished bagpipe player. Do you think, is it the sound of the pipes that sort of develops a mystique?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's just something about the bagpipes that on its own is mystical and
Yeah, it
kind of
is.
enchanting, isn't it?
Yes,
It can
absolutely.
send shivers down your spine, can bring tears to a glass eye, as my papa would say. But when I started learning the bagpipes, I actually found that it helped hone this gift and it helped me concentrate and kind of get in that Zen state, if you would.
Okay.
And yeah, it really helped me focus my energy on my gift and fine-tune it.
So this is manifest for you in being able to read minds?
Yes.
And to sort of foresee what's going to happen?
Yeah, so that's one way that the gift can present itself. Other ways, yeah, so it gives me some abilities over the elements, that kind of thing. I can manipulate objects, don't manipulate people, I just read their minds.
Oh,
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
So yeah, so the gift can really,
Can you show us something?
I certainly can.
Great.
I can show you something
Well,
rather
I
strange.
know the candle's here for a good reason, and
Yes.
it's not my birthday, and I'm not that aged, unless it comes with 00 after it.
I would have came out playing something quite different as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Janice, do you mind helping us out?
I don't mind
Thank
at
you.
all.
Could you just cut roughly half the cards off for me?
Roughly. Oh, I don't do a very good job of that either.
That's okay.
They're
that'll do.
slippery.
That's okay. They are. Janice, we're going to do something rather strange. As I said, I'm one of the only 2 living relatives who have the gift at the moment in my family. My other is my auntie who lives in the UK, and she's actually a white witch.
A white?
Yes, a white witch. So that's how she manifests and uses her gift.
Right.
So for my birthday last year, she actually sent me something to help me with my gift.
Right.
She sent me this little folder here.
Yes.
And in this folder is something rather unusual. So we've got some paper here.
Yes.
Just take one piece for it.
One.
And this paper is actually rather special. It's called spell paper. It's the paper that witches and warlocks would actually write spells and voodoo and witchcraft on. So we're going to try and do a bit of a spell tonight.
Right.
Or today, or as you said, whatever time you're watching this.
Anywhere.
First of all, we're going to need a victim though.
Oh, right.
The bank manager.
No, that would be way too heavy for this.
No, okay.
We'll use the card that you cut to. So please take a look at the card.
Take a look at that.
And you can show it to the camera.
Okay.
I'll look over here towards the screen.
Oh, there we are. Where are you? That
There.
one.
That'll do. Now, it's only fair that we let our victim hide because you never know what we're going to do to it. So just place them back onto the packet. Back there,
Just
thank
gone?
you.
So
Yep.
the card is the victim.
The
in
card
this
is going to be
case.
our victim in
Right.
this case because we don't really want to harm anyone today, do we?
No.
Not really.
Only our director.
Yes. So what I'd like you to do is just write down the name of the... get a pen out
Ready?
there. There you go.
Thanks.
Just write down the name of our victim for us.
Did you remember the...
Yes.
Okay, you're a good girl.
Oh, it's hard to write on it.
It can be.
Are you looking? You're not meant to be looking.
No, that's okay. It's not that kind of trick.
Oh, okay.
Can we just hold that up so everyone can actually see that you've written
I
on
hope
it
it's clear.
Right there.
And I
See that?
spelled right.
Can we get that?
There you go.
What is it? The
There
seven
you
of,
go. You're
seven
not
of-
supposed to see this.
Seven of hearts, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you are.
Lovely. Now, these spells, they could be positive, they could be negative. They could be love spells, they could be financial spells, but we're going to do something a bit more sinister.
Oh,
We're actually going to inflict a curse on our victim.
right.
I particularly like fire, so we'll bring the candle a bit closer.
Yes.
Could you just pick up the packet of playing cards for us? And
The
hold
whole
on
lot?
to them? Yep, the whole lot. And hold on to them. Okay.
Hold them over here.
Yeah, hold them over here so the camera
I'm
can
sure
see.
you're not doing anything unusual.
No, okay.
So the seven of hearts. Can you just imagine somebody that you wouldn't want to inflict too much pain, but just somebody that you'd put a bit of a curse on if you could. You don't need to name names, it's okay, you can keep it private.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, no,
Now,
I can't think of anybody offhand.
that's not very nice thinking about Malcolm's name.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so it was the seven of hearts. Replace that person's name with the seven of hearts. Okay, seven of hearts. We curse you.
Where'd that go?
Did you feel something? Did you feel something kind of strange happening?
Yes.
Just have a look at the packet of playing cards for me. Turn them over and see if you can find your card for me.
Come over here so everyone can see.
Seven of diamonds. Seven. Oh my
Seven of
goodness.
hearts.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Something strange.
I've still got my fingers.
And that could be a souvenir for
Jeez.
you.
Oh, well done.
So
Wow.
this is sort of an unusual thing that, yes,
If
well,
the alarms go off.
take that. These are unusual things. The use of things like cards when you're creating this. Why cards? Is it just because everybody's familiar with a card?
That, and it's something that everyone can relate to. Everyone's got a packet of playing cards at home. I like to do something a little bit different with them.
Well, I've never seen anyone do that.
No,
before.
I haven't either. That's pretty
So
special.
you've put together, in a way, a performance that's a demonstration of the many different things you're capable of doing.
Yes, I've got a performance, exactly, that's probably the best way to describe it, of my gift.
The
This
gift.
is part of our Cabaret Under the Star that
Yeah.
we've got. For those people who were watching us last year, you might remember we did a very special show from the opening night of Cabaret Under the Star down at Star Theatres.
We did.
And this year we have 24 different performers or
Jace being one
shows.
of them.
And yes, this is. You'll be showing your gift as part of the performance.
Yes, definitely.
So
Yep.
it's an hour?
Yeah, it's a 1 hour show and it's taken people on a journey a bit through my heritage. You learn a bit more about me and you get to see some rather unusual things that I've learnt how to do.
Oh. Oh.
That in one way of putting it is a bit spooky.
Yes, it certainly will be. Yeah.
But also finding out how this is sort of an inherited
Definitely,
thing. It's
yes.
really most interesting.
Yes.
It's not the way that most people approach this, and it's
No.
it's worth having a look at.
Yes, it's certainly something
I might recommend, yes. It's great to have had you on our program. Thank you very much. And
yes, thank you.
Playing pipes, how long have you played them? From childhood? Is it it's a family thing?
Yes, I've been playing for 11 years now, actually. But time's gone by so quick, and I'm sure I'll be playing it in many, many years' time.
You probably
Fantastic.
will.
Yeah.
Mr. Wonders.
Mr. Wonders.
A very deceptive gentleman with a show called The Gift.
Thank you, yes. And that'll be on the 21st and 22nd of October.
Okay, here in South Australia.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
I wish I could remember what's on next.
Really? Oh dear. Well, Dr. Ray Cass is back on the program. Welcome to the program,
so
Doctor.
Pleased to be here. Last
See?
time you had a headache.
I did.
Yes, you did. I don't know if you can remember that, but that's...
I don't remember much really these days.
so we fixed your headaches.
Comes with, yes, we did. I'm such an actor. But Ray,
You said that last time.
it's lovely to actually have you back on the program.
Thanks.
It's
Pleased to be
also
here.
lovely to know that somebody with your lovely sense of humour actually can talk about such a serious subject as memory.
Yeah, please.
Because it is a worry to all of us that we're going to lose it.
Yeah, well, our memories are very important to us, and there's a lot of concentrated research about Alzheimer's disease and its increase in the world. We need to divide up what's normal memory loss to disease memory loss.
So losing your keys or forgetting where you put your keys or did I lock the door when I left home is fairly normal?
It's normal.
Walking into a room and thinking, why did I come in here?
That's normal. I mean, if
Then
you,
we're okay.
Good.
well, if you compare your memory for a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old, you lose about 8% if you do your memory testing. But the 50-year-old wins because they've got more experience.
Your more memories.
So when you get to 70, it's about 20 to 30% reduced. So
I've only got
those patients have issues with their memory, and there's always the spectre of having Alzheimer's disease and what it means.
Right.
And clearly we're getting an ageing population now, and so the Alzheimer's disease is a big factor for all of us.
Well, I'm actually going through that at the moment, and
With a member
it's
of the
quite
family, yes.
yeah, a member of the family, and it's quite upsetting because she's going way back and repeating
I
the
can't
same
remember
thing.
what she just did.
No, like within a few minutes.
So that's characteristic. So the first thing that happens in Alzheimer's disease is you lose your short-term memory. So it affects a part of the brain called the hippocampus. But you still have preserved long-term memory. So they can remember what happened 20 to 30 years ago, but they can't remember what they did 5 minutes ago.
Oh, exactly.
So the process is quite diffuse, though. It's not just a memory problem. They're not able to do quite a number of things. So it'd be wrong to characterise it as just a memory issue. And the issue is that there isn't any good medication that treats Alzheimer's right now. There are medications that slow it down for a period of time, but we don't have that magic bullet. We're doing a lot of research to find the magic bullet, but it hasn't been found yet.
Okay.
Is it possible that our brains could fill up? Like you can fill up a computer.
Yes.
And if the brain is like an organic computer,
Yes.
for want of a better description,
Yes.
Is it possible to fill it up?
Well,
Is that a stupid question?
no. Look, there has been some research done on developing memory chips that will fill up your brain with memory. So they've done these really interesting animal experiments. It sounds ridiculous, really, but if you do a rat experiment where you watch how they convert short-term memory to long-term memory, you can actually model that. So there's been a researcher who's modelled that by putting electrodes into the brain. And what they do next is they give them a drug that takes away that long-term memory, and then they put the chip in and they can remember to do the task. So there will be, at some time in the future, this is only animal experiments, so no human experiments have been done, a time where we may be able to do that.
I hope it's in my lifetime.
It is quite hard in Alzheimer's disease because that's quite a diffuse disorder, so it's not just a memory. So the researcher that's done that has thought that we might do it before you get Alzheimer's disease, because by the time you get Alzheimer's disease, it's too late.
Yes.
So you want to get the patient before that.
But how are you going to know, though, that they will get Alzheimer's? That's the thing.
Yes.
Well, there are a number of predictive tests.
Right.
So you can actually do memory testing on patients, and there's a number of nuclear medicine scans that you can do. And if a nuclear medicine scan is positive, that predicts that that patient will go on to Alzheimer's. The only issue is we don't have the magic bullet to treat them.
But the markers are there in DNA. Is that where that's discovered? Or?
No. This is a nuclear medicine scan where you you image a substance called amyloid, which is a naturally occurring substance which is increased in Alzheimer's disease. So now this was all developed in Australia. So in fact, there was a South Australian person that did it.
Okay.
So we've got the technology to be able to predict who's going to get it up to a point. But when this will become a really big deal is when we get the right treatment.
You could sort of download your memories, I suppose, onto a hard drive and then put them back again when you need.
Well, it looks like with this research that might be possible. Remember that there's already implantable technology.
Well, of course, the
right?
bones and...
That's right. So, but also cochlear implants, that's transforming what you hear into electrical impulses. You can do stimulation studies for Parkinson's disease. You can do it for epilepsy. So we're already doing something like that. But I think memory is a whole larger step. So until that's able to be modelled correctly, but the animal studies are really interesting. So there'd be a whole lot of sceptics about this because, of course, how do you download a memory chip?
And why would you do it in an animal?
Well, I'm sure, but I'm sure years ago, putting an implant of a foreign bone in your body would be
That's right.
considered exactly the same.
Well, Parkinson's surgery, where they put a stimulator to try and improve the patient, was just not thought about before.
No.
Now it's kind of routine.
And I've seen that recently for people who have had spinal injury, of being able to connect the two together with a little implant.
Well, that's right. So the research we're looking at improving spinal injury has been a little bit disappointing. So what they've done is to try and find a way around the spinal cord injury to get the limb to move electrically. So that's actually quite promising. So I think that's a very good application of that kind of technology.
Well, the Prime Minister could be right by saying it's a good time to be alive.
Well, it's happening very quickly.
Do you think that is... I often wonder whether, in the progression of mankind, if you like, the fact there's this build-up of knowledge that every generation, particularly in the last 100 years, has sort of leapt, higher and higher with the knowledge on top of the one before, whereas prior to this time we weren't as literate as a species, I imagine.
Yes.
Is our brain evolving in a different way? Is this why these other challenges are coming in?
Yes, I would think so. I mean, the changes that are coming just in medicine in the last 10 years, if you take just one disorder, let's say multiple sclerosis, we would need to learn a new drug every 6 months. So our children are going to have access to information that none of us had, and at a rate that their brains are going to be different from ours. They're going to learn differently. They're going to think differently.
Clearly, that's already happening. The education system has changed dramatically. It's
They're learning from a very early age about technology on the devices.
So we've had to go through all of that, the written word, now to the typed word, now to being able to just almost think a word. And when you think of some of the great minds who are literally just generating computers with their eyes and
That's right. So, I mean, it sounds a little bit far-fetched for having a memory chip, but is it? When you look at the history, according to the paper that I read, they think they're going to start human trials in the next 10, 15 years. That's extraordinary.
That is extraordinary.
Well, when you think about it, there's been quite a few movies made on this subject.
Johnny and your mate.
It's reality, following through the storylines, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You just wonder whether the stimulation of the storyline made somebody think, oh, that's not a bad idea, or whether who wrote that in the first place was almost able to see the future.
Or had read some research
Well, I
anyway.
think the guy who did the research was a unique person. He's a neuroscientist and an engineer. You have to have that blending of unusual talents to be able to push that kind of technology.
Mr. Wonders, who we had on before. See?
It's a blending of
He's
talent.
got
Maybe that's what he
he's-
had.
He's got the gift.
That's what he had.
Maybe.
See,
Maybe he
might
had
have
the gift.
And those things do, in all seriousness, those things do seem to be in the mind of people. The ability to communicate in a particular way, or to, you know, search inside someone's soul through their eyes. And
Yeah, look, it's going to be a really interesting world.
fascinating time, isn't it?
Well, I think lots of things are going to become changed. In my time as a neurologist, there were lots of disorders that thought they wouldn't be able to cure, but it's
happening.
amazing
It's
time
a
now.
happening thing.
Dr. Ray Cass, thank you once again. That's uplifting information, I
you
think.
very much.
Positive information for the future.
Look, there's a lot of very interesting things that are great for all of us.
Thanks, Ray. And we'll be back. Well, Peter will be back in a tick to meet some of our new friends here on Our Time from Hello World.
And we're back again with Steve and Alicia Morris from Hello World Travel at Westlakes. Thanks for coming back again.
Yes, thank you. Nice
Lots
to see
of
you.
thank you very much. Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
A lot of travellers in the past had a bit of a difficult decision whether to go on their own and sort of wing it as they go, or perhaps get on an organised coach tour or a train tour across America, whatever. What are the benefits, for example, of travelling independently? For a start,
Oh, so I'll let you start with this one.
you've got an experience.
Yes.
Well,
Steve?
hire a car in another country and just drive with your family.
So
You get to see so much more,
Yep.
and the experiences you'll never forget.
And you did this. You actually.
Yes,
did
we've
this.
done quite like most. A lot of time we've done it as independently,
Right.
so that way we can go there, do our own thing as well. So we've got like hotels in that car booked, but that way sometimes you don't know what the weather is, or if you like somewhere, you can always stay a bit longer. So again, so we cover everything, so we can book as much as you want, whether it's just airfares and a couple of nights accommodation, and then keep the rest of our own arrangements, or we can have every night pre-booked in, so everything's all prepaid before you go.
So it's a real road test, literally.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that way we can still, even if it's independently, so we can still do your flights, the transfers take you from the airport to the hotel, car hire if needed, or we can organise day tours. So you can base yourself in a hotel and then do your day tours from there as well.
So are a lot of people a bit nervous about driving, like they've never been to Europe, for example, driving on the other side of the road, or America obviously driving on the opposite side of the road to us here? Do you get people a bit nervous about that, or do they get used to it?
No, they do. It is very nervous. Like say, he's driven quite a few times, and the first couple of days is a bit hairy, especially on the other side. And a few times we're driving along. It's when it's busy, it's easier. It's when it's when you're out in the middle of nowhere, that's when a few times we thought, oh, what's on the wrong side of the road? So quickly get on the right side as well. So, but
Yes.
at least that way, and also compared to having, like, say, with a coach tour that
Yes, I was
way,
going to say,
it
you're
does
often
all the
bundled
driving.
onto the coach and
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
and you see the same places, but it's a bit more stressful, is it not?
Or sometimes it can be like a lot more relaxing. You've got more. You still got a lot of free time as
Yes.
well. So depending on which tour you
Sure.
do, some can be you've got range. You've got fast-paced ones and a bit slower pace where you've got more 2-3
Sure.
night stops
Yeah.
as well. So it just covers everyone, whether you want to do it independently for whoever's confident to drive, or
Yep.
just do their own thing
Yep.
as well,
Yep.
or just want to be more relaxing, or you got the tours who want to immerse, you've got local guides, a tour director as well. Basically holds a hand along the way.
It's good.
Yeah.
So yes, I remember years ago in Italy, I went there and the lira was worth hardly anything. So we
Yeah.
bought some stuff at a roadside stop, and they gave us our change in boiled lollies.
Oh, God.
So the next time we went, can we buy something? No, didn't
Yeah.
work so well. But if you're on the bus, obviously, yes, you get to see the same places, and you meet some great people, presumably, Steve,
Absolutely.
on the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually done a bus tour
No.
myself, but
feedback
you
would say.
you would meet a lot of people, and you meet friends for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the average tour, like the hire car type thing? Is it a couple of weeks, or people go away for a bit longer?
So
what
it
do you
all
find?
varies. So some people, like say, especially like with Asia, normally like it's say 10 nights to 14 nights as well. Most time they'll go to like say one hotel and just like veg out and just do their day trips from there. Otherwise, sometimes with the US, it's normally about 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've also read, I don't know if you guys do have access to it, but you can actually buy a car if you're going to stay there a bit longer.
Yes.
And give it back when you come home.
That's
not a
correct.
bad deal,
Yeah,
is it?
and also again, especially within Europe, you can do like Peugeot leasing.
Yes.
So where you got like a brand new car and it's virtually like
That's a
your
pretty
own
good
car.
deal.
Yeah.
Brand new car to
Yes.
travel wherever you want to
Yes.
and when you want
like
to.
a Peugeot, yeah.
And you
then-
can do all that for people at your
Absolutely,
business? Yeah.
yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great advice, and we'll have some more of it shortly on
Yes,
Our
we
Time. It's Steve and Alicia from Hello World.
Thanks to Peter. And yes, what another our gifted person.
Yes, and Ray, just talking about the microchipping in the brain, if we lived in years before this, it would seem like magic what we're talking about, really.
Exactly, and it might all be possible.
There you go.
Which means that magic is possible.
Certainly is. Magic is definitely possible.
And seeing you play the bagpipes before, they have a common name, don't they?
They do. They've gone by many names, but the most interesting is actually the devil's instrument, because Vlad the Impaler was known to play bagpipes as he was impaling his victims.
Just checking for horns here, that was all. Just checking.
I'm sure they're there.
I hide them quite well.
For someone who knows about the brain.
That's right, I can examine
We
it.
hope you've enjoyed our bit of nonsense today, and we hope you will come back and see us again. And don't forget, you can find out more about this program on Facebook.
And YouTube.
And you can watch past shows. Until next time, keep yourself nice till then.